Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is actress Tasya Teles from the 100, and I'm here speaking with Galaxy on Comic-Con Radio.
Can you see it? Is it beautiful? It is in my dreams. I hope we do better there.
We sent an exploratory team. Clark's on it.
Everything we did, everything that happened so we could get here.
If anything happens to me, it won't. If it does.
It's in people's homes. They're not breaking in like thieves.
So any guesses where all the people went? This place is too well maintained to be abandoned.
Maybe. But if they are gone, there's enough room here for everybody on the ship.
I wish Maddie could have gone to school.
Wish Octavia could have. Did you read this?
It's not a nursery rhyme. It's a warning. Trees and plants give us shade, and we eat them every day. But when the stars align and the forest wakes, it's time to run away. For 2 days, heaven is hell, and friends are foes. It's in the air. So few are safe once they're exposed. We have no idea how to survive down here.
You're okay, they're all crazy.
Here we go again.
You want to do better here. You can't. You're a cancer. You know what we do to you. Cut it out. Put us out of our misery. Finish what you started.
It's not real. We've been hijacked.
He is Russell Lightborn. Bow before using his name.
I don't think so.
They were withdrawing. Why the hell would you attack? How many people have you killed?
Am I a monster?
Yes, I am. We can change.
I believe you want to. I just don't believe you can.
Everything I did for my people.
Lock them up.
I never meant for you to get hurt. Is that what you want to hear? I'm the bad guy? Fine, I'll be the bad guy.
The Queen is dead. I'm pretty sure I'm going to hell.
Hell's big enough for all of us.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing in for Comic-Con Radio. Coverage of pop culture events from around the globe. Amazing interviews with celebrities. Daily recaps and reviews of popular television. The Walking Dead. Z Nation. Van Helsing. DC Titans. Flash. The Legends of Tomorrow. Black Lightning. American Horror Story. Green Arrow. Movie reviews. Everything Comic-Con and fandom from around the globe. Comic-Con Radio. Get ready to enter our universe. Let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is your boy Galaxy on another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Today, we have a really cool gal on the show. Straight from France, because she's there right now, we have Tasya Teles live on Comic-Con Radio. Hey, Tasya, how are you?
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
What's up? So, I hear that you're in France right now. How is that?
Oh, it's awesome. I love it over here. I mean, it's incredible. I'm in France.
That's
great.
it, right?
I just got in, so I haven't really been able to see anything, but the next few days are going to be great.
That's wonderful. Are you going there for a gig or promotions or just fun?
Yeah, all of the above. I'm here for a fan convention, so I'm here to meet fans of the 100, and I'm here with a bunch of our other castmates, and we're going to spend the next 2 days just hanging out and answering questions and hobnobbing with everybody here. Yeah.
That's really cool. How exciting is that? You get to go to France and you get to meet fans from the show that you're doing so incredibly with. The 100, the 100,
yes.
The $100 bill, however you want to call it. Amazing show, and you're amazing on it. How's that experience so far being on the 100?
I mean, the whole meeting the fans thing and doing the conventions and traveling to Europe and around the world is something that I totally didn't anticipate when I started on the show. You know, just the joy of being on the show was already so, you know, awesome and overwhelming. And the show films in Vancouver, and there's a lot of shows that, you know, that you go out for and you audition for. But the 100 was always one that I thought it was raw. I thought it was so cool, and I loved, you know, what they talked about. And so the whole experience has just been incredible.
That's really wonderful, and it's really good to hear that. And Canada, I say on every show, Canada. Canada is booming with sci-fi and all these different types of our fandom world shows, and it's your backyard.
Yes.
You were born and raised there, right?
Yeah, I was born in Toronto. I went to high school in Vancouver, and I went to college in Montreal. So I kind of bounced around, you know, Canada. But after I graduated with my degree, I went back to Vancouver because there was so much filming there, and that was where I was able to get into the mix. And there's so many sci-fi shows that are filming there. It's incredible. It's awesome. And the genre, I find, generally is just really taking off. You have like the coolest plots and really kind of developed storylines that are coming out. There's a lot of them are filming in Vancouver, so it's been a joy. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. You know, Supernatural's paved the way. Supernaturals is known as the Canada sci-fi show. You know how some states here in the U.S., they say stay weird. Actually, Supernatural made it that way over there. You know, like weird is not the word, right?
Totally. I mean, first of all, those guys are awesome. I had such a blast when I was on Supernatural, and, you know, sadly it wasn't for too long, but Jensen was directing that episode, and Jared actually wasn't in on the days, like in the part of the storyline that I was in, but we ended up hanging out outside of work anyways, because there's so many of us, you know, packed into this small town. Well, Vancouver isn't so small anymore, but like we're always kind of roaming around and you know, ending up at the same parties and stuff like that. And those guys just did such a great job with Supernatural. It's going to be weird, you know, not having them around next year.
I know.
Yeah.
So sad. The Supernatural fans are so loyal and devoted. Imagine this. If you were 17 years old and you started watching Supernaturals, they're like 32 now, 33. Some of them have their own children that are like in, you know, junior high watching it with them, right?
Totally. I actually, you know, I was like, I went on a brief vacation when we wrapped the last season of The 100, and I was on a beach in Mexico, and it was so funny, like, the people that I was talking to, it turns out, like, her and her kids, like, their entire family, you know, grew up watching Supernatural. So it's going to be missed, I think, by quite a few people around the world.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's the show that paved the way for, you know, the Canada takeover of sci-fi superhero and all of the above. And it took that show to show the whole world how amazing the production crews and everyone is over there, because if it wasn't, none of these big studios would be there and planting big seeds right now. And every major show's like filmed there right now. I'm like, oh my God, Canada.
Like, I keep on trying to like come down to the sun and like, you know, spend more time in Los Angeles, and my agents are like, go back to Vancouver. And I'm like, what? Like, I need a 10, guys. Like, I've been here already for, you know, the 6 months of the year in the winter that we filmed 100, but there's so much happening up there. And you know what happens as a reflection of having a lot of shows that film in Vancouver, like sci-fi shows specifically, is the corollary kind of institutions that get built up around them, like all of the, you know, CGI and graphics and special effects and stunts. Like, those are all really strong in Vancouver too. So there's this whole industry that has bloomed out of that, you know.
How cool is that?
Cool.
How cool is
it's
that
cool,
you get
man.
to see that? You get to see all these cool, amazing things happening over there. It's bigger than awesome. It's like ultra cool. It's amazing. And I know LA is the place still, and New York's the place, and, you know, Atlanta's a big, huge place too now.
Atlanta's huge.
A lot of huge things are happening there. But it's awesome that all these crazy things are happening right in your backyard, and you get to go see your friends and family and
Totally.
film these cool shows.
Yeah, like we did the celebrity soccer tournament to raise money for the Children's Hospital, and it was like they mixed like some of the local actors or like some of the actors that were working there at the time with previous professional soccer players. And so on the soccer field at any given moment you had like 10 shows, like actors from all these different shows. We all got to kind of hang out and meet one another, because when we're filming, it's really, there's not much time for, anything else. It's a lot of work. You're just like driving to work and coming back and going to sleep and driving to work in the morning and coming back. And that's basically what your life looks like. So to have these opportunities to do other things like this, soccer match and other little things we get to do is really fun.
That's pretty cool. So, for a lot of fans out there that don't know about the 100, do you want to explain a little bit about it?
It's so hard. I mean, I need to get better at this, because it's like some of my colleagues can do it in like one sentence, and I kind of go on these lengthy descriptions where I like don't know if I've said too much or not. But essentially, it's kind of like Lord of the Flies meets Lost, kind of like they're post-apocalyptic world and set in the future, and there's a space station with a few hundred people in the sky, or a few thousand, I think, actually. And what happened was there was a nuclear war. And so they lost contact with the people on Earth, and they didn't know if the towers were just down, the communication towers, or if the world was completely unlivable. So what they do is they send 100 juvenile delinquents down to Earth to go, see what the radiation level's at. And what happens is they get to Earth and they find that there are, in fact, survivors 100 years later, and that they've created these tribes, and the tribes aren't, they're not warring, but they're contentious with one another. And so, it lays the ground for all of this drama as we see what the world looks like if there was, a nuclear apocalypse that took out most of it, and how people survived after.
That's pretty cool.
So,
that's a good answer.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Thank you.
I will take that.
I'm going to put a pin in that one.
And I give you 10 points for that. That's pretty cool. It's hard to explain. I wanted to come out of your mouth. I know it's tough. I know you can't explain the entire thing perfectly, but that was perfectly amazing explanation. I couldn't have said it better. And you play Echo on the show, right? That's your role?
I do. She's awesome.
And who is she? Like, what does she do? Like, what's Echo's role?
So there's 12 tribes, and Echo comes from the most northern one, which is called Ice Nation. And actually what happened with, they also have their own language, these tribes, because what happened, over the course of 100 plus years is they melded together English and French and Spanish and, some of the more dominant languages in North America. So they have this really cool language. And so Ice Nation in their language is called Asgera. And she's a spy for the royal family of Asgera. And Asgera is known as the most lethal, kind of ruthless tribe of all of them. And Echo is one of the most feared and kind of not violent, but she definitely takes no prisoners. She does what is needed to be done. And so she's pretty gangster, but yeah, she's awesome. She knows how to use all the weapons, and she knows how to kind of float in and out of all the different tribes in disguise. And she's fierce. She's super fun to play.
That's pretty cool. If you guys weren't as cool looking and as beautiful, the language will remind me of Despicable Me.
Yes. The same guy that made the Dothraki language. He did ours.
Nice.
And I have to speak it quite a bit. So, yeah, I'm always kind of on phone calls with them, making sure I have the accent down and can execute the lines properly. Do you remember any of the
words?
I could. I'd have to, check. Oh, wait. Check you around, Sky cruise on through the sun down.
That's pretty cool.
That's how it sounds. I feel like I'm rapping when I do it. It's so much fun.
That's pretty cool, though, because, there's people that actually have watched Star Trek all their life, and they actually written down the Klingon language, and they made books out of it, and they actually studied it, and now they speak Klingon, which is freaking crazy.
It's crazy. Well, people do that with this one, too. some of them ask me, like, how do you say happy birthday or something? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think that Echo's ever said happy birthday on the show. But they figured out how to say things like I love you. You know, I can see some of their translations when I go, like, on Twitter or whatever, and it's actually pretty accurate. So
that's pretty awesome. Yeah. That means they're paying attention. Yeah. Those are hardcore fans. Totally. Someone to take the time to learn a language from a TV show means they're in love with it.
Totally. Yes. I mean, I love it. I'm a big fan of it too.
So, you know, aside from the 100, you have a huge filmography, TVography, whatever you want to call it. Well, we'll call it filmography because that's the term. But you've been on some great films, but your TV roles are amazing. Like, you've been on Witches of East End. You've been on, you know, iZombie. And,
that was fun.
Supernaturals and Travelers and Prison Break.
Prison Break, yeah.
I love that.
Those
the new
great.
Prison Break, you were in it. You did really well. You were awesome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, she was like...
You were Trisha, right?
Yeah, I was. I was. I've noticed that I kind of get, you know, these, you know, very high command, strong female type roles. So it's really funny. It's really fun, but it's really figuring out how to paint each as differently, like the nuance between how this person differs from this person has become the challenge because that's the pocket that I live in. You know, she was high up in the NSA. She had a high clearance, Trisha. And I actually don't know if I should say much. So we'll just leave it at that.
Boop, boop, boom, boom. Yeah. Hey, I have a tendency of making people say things they don't want to, which is cool.
Oh, uh-oh.
That's my job. That's my job. I melt you into
behind the
things.
laugh. You're sneaking around. I see you.
What did you say? It's behind the laugh. So I do that laugh, and you guys just feel comfortable. Is that it?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, it works, right?
2 little devil horns pop out of your head.
Actually, they're pointing up on top of my head right now.
Oh, nice. They're glowing.
You know, I get messages all the time after the show. They're like, can you take this part out? I'm like, I already knew what's up. We kind of know what's up, what's not allowed, and what's good. That's why everybody loves us, and we love everybody because we want you to come back, you know?
Yeah. Totally. I would love that.
There you go.
It's always easier to have the interviews after the most recent, you know, season airs because right now it's like we're so tight-lipped. We just landed on a new world. And so this is probably the most intensely they've tried to keep it locked up. And it's been so hard to navigate questions because I can't talk about this new planet that we've arrived on and how it's different and all the different things. So I'm really excited for the season premiere, which I think is in like 10 days.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Then I can talk. Then I can speak more freely. We can have a good old chat, you know.
Yeah, well, we got to get you back on in, you know, mid-season and go over what's going on because I know I've heard through the grapevine you have some pretty good things going on with your character on this season. So it's gonna, and you know why they give you these powerful roles. First of all, you're 5'9", so you're tall. Second of all, you have this like look to you that like you command a room. So I think everybody sees you, they're like, hey, we got to make her the boss. And we got to make her powerful. Maybe inside you're like, hey, I don't want roles like that. But they give you that because you just have that presence, I think. Is that true?
Well, I mean, I come from a family of women that are I'm actually the shortest one. My mom is 6 feet tall, and my sister's 5'11". And like my mom has this like booming presence, and she loves to laugh and engage with people, and she's a professor, so she just like orates, you know, to these big classrooms, and that just definitely trickled down to my sister and I. So I can, you know, see why they give me these kind of roles. It definitely fits.
Can you
think
say
of my mom?
Can you say that you're from the Amazon? Because your dad is Brazilian, right? So do you have that Amazon
Brazilian
blood in you? Is that what it is? Amazonian?
Who knows? I mean, my dad does work in the Amazon, so he definitely is there. But the characters, the grounders, that's what we call the characters that have lived on Earth this whole time. The grounders definitely have that Amazonian vibe. Like that's something I've pulled from actually a lot when I play Echo. She has that jungle-y, connection, like that visceral awareness, of like the wind and the trees, and because that's where she lives and hides and spies and kills and does all that cool stuff. So yeah, definitely.
That's pretty cool. And the season's starting, and you're at some cool show in France right now, and everybody's going to speak French to you. Do you speak French or no?
I do.
Wow.
I do.
That's cool.
Yeah. It was pretty funny because me and the translator always have respond to a question, and then me and the translator will just look at each other, and I'll be like, I don't know, do you want? I can speak it. I can answer it in French. But
and he's like, hey, you took my job from me.
I know. And the other actors are just sitting there, I'll laugh at jokes in French that, the fans are asking or something like that, and I'll be the only one laughing and quickly realize that nobody else can speak
It
French
feels like that
around me.
awkward person laughing at jokes in a room, but nobody else is, right?
Totally.
That's cool. That's cool, though. Hey, you know what? If you got it, you got it, and that's it. And
yeah,
I believe.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom, for that.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you,
Mom.
Professor Mom.
Yes.
Because you're awesome. You taught her French, and she's just killing it. She's killing it on and off screen. So do you think that you have a little bit of Echo in you, like in real life? Is there a connection there?
It's funny. I think what happens with any role that you work on for a long time is there's a life imitating art, imitating life thing that happens, where either what's happening in Echo's story in that moment will start to manifest in my life or vice versa, or something will happen in my life and then I'll maybe start seeing it in the writing. I'll see a mirror of it or something like that, probably because I'm experiencing something similar. But right now, I'm actually working on a movie in LA, and I had a Skype session with the director before I flew down to LA, and he was like, you have this thing about you where, as I talk to you now, you're all bubbly and sweet and personable, but even as you just listen to me right now, he's like, the way that you are in your stillness, I think that you could probably, if I saw you in a dark alley, I'd be like, she can beat me up. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, you harbor these two kind of different different ways about you. And I think that's very similar to Echo, where more of what you see about Echo is you see a lot more of her stillness. And that was something that I actually had to work on because I was always moving and I'm very expressive and I use my arms a lot. So learning how to walk and sit and stand like her was my big challenge in the first year. But I think I have it nailed down a bit. But yeah, she definitely lives in me for sure.
That's pretty cool. Hey, if you can scare your director into giving you a role, that's the best thing in the world.
I was like, thanks.
You're like, thank you, God, Lord. Am I like that?
Right?
But hey,
I'm now I'm always smiling just to
right, you overly smile, you have this big grin, and then he's like, actually that looks scary too because you're just smirking at me for no reason.
Yeah,
you're like, are you sure?
Not working. Yeah.
Uh-oh, Tasya, you're killing it.
What's
Tasya,
up?
you're if you smile, you're gonna scare him. If you don't smile, he's already scared. Dang.
Tough times, man.
Dang, tough times. That's why you should be in superhero movies.
I agree.
Yes.
I think in some ways Echo is a bit of a superhero. Some of the things that I get to do with her are incredible, jumping off a horse and shooting a bow and arrow that kills two people at once kind of thing. I'm like, damn, she's pretty good.
Now, did you have to practice to learn those, or is it After Effects?
Oh my God. I mean, in season 5, we did a lot of live action stuff, which is really cool because I got to use a gun for the first time. And they actually rigged the set with when you shoot the gun, it would actually it would go da 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 da, and then they had little explosives along the ground that would fire off as if that was where I was aiming. I was probably just, I don't know, holding it in a general direction, but there was bombs and dirt that was exploding. So that was cool. But we have to learn a lot of the stuff on our own. I remember when I had to use the bow and arrow, it was so awful. It was like the assistant director comes up to me. He's like, hey, do you know how to use this? And I was like, no. Do you know how to use a bow and arrow? Like, who knows how to use a bow and arrow? And he's like, the director. The director knows. He actually goes hunting with a bow and arrow. So he's very specific about how you have to hold it. And I was like, great. So you give this to me 10 seconds before we film, before we shoot. And I was just like holding this stupid thing, like arms are getting tired, like, I don't know. But I actually start practicing some of that stuff. Like I started using a bow staff. So I practice the bow staff at home, and same with the sword. I practice the sword at home, and I go to firing ranges for the guns. I try to, make it look as good as I can, get behind the weapon that I'm, using in the show.
That's pretty exciting.
Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment. Those never dull moments are the moments that kind of inset in you and you never forget, and it helps you out and it adds another layer to your amazing life. And
yeah,
I can say that I've seen you on multiple shows. I've seen some of your stuff. When the producer said we're going to have Tasya on the show, I was like, wow, great. She's doing amazing on the 100. I've seen her in so many things. And you have that face that's familiar. And it's pretty cool because any show you're on, you're recognizable. And I've noticed that with certain people, and that really helps you grow. And especially when you're at events like this that you're going to tomorrow or this week, where people can recognize you. They're like, oh, that's Echo or whatever. You've also been in a few video games as well. So that helps a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love doing video games, man. It is so cool. It's a whole different beast. It's completely different than what live action is because you don't have a set. You're just in this open, gymnasium, basically, that they call a volume, and you're wearing spandex, and you have a camera attached to your head and, dots all over your face, but you get to really live in your imagination. So, they're like, okay, there's 100 people firing at you from over here. You need to make it over there. This person falls, and you're like, action, and you're just you feel like a kid again. You're running through this big gymnasium, holding up, rubber guns or whatever it is, and it's really cool. It's really physical, so you get to also explore characters in terms of how they move, movement wise. It's just awesome. But yeah, it definitely helps.
Wow. That's probably so fun. So you get to wear those green spandex outfits with the little balls on them, and you run around.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
You know what? I would love to see that because I know some friends that are in games and they send me photos and I'm like, wow, that's so cool. It's it looks cool to me. To a lot of people it might look dorky and, they're just running around. Did you know that they're creating a virtual reality headset when they create video games where you, the actor, wears a virtual reality headset and you get to actually play the game in the headset while you're wearing your green spandex suit and you're running around and doing different moves and they record you like that and you actually get to see things. Isn't that cool?
That's crazy. And you know what? When I was working at EA, Electronic Arts, they were actually building a smaller little, we call them volumes, the kind of gymnasium area you run around, but they're building a smaller volume for exactly that reason. One of the tech guys, he's like, can you write me a letter of support saying the ways in which this would help the actor experience, help their performance for the games? And I was like, absolutely, that sounds awesome. But I haven't had the chance to participate in it yet, but I know that it's there, but I want to do another video game so I can see that.
Well, you're going to do another video game. I feel that once the season goes with the 100, you're going to be asked to do another video game because this season of the 100 is going to be pretty cool because you guys are in what now? Season what? What is this? The fifth season? Sixth season. Wow. So season number 6, that means that you guys are doing so well. And especially you're going to be having some cool roles this season. and you're going to show off your stuff. I'm thinking there's a video game coming up. Actually, I heard that there's like 5 new video games that's being done, like big name ones. I know there's thousands of them done every year, but there's like 5 big ones. So be on alert. See, here's the thing with me. I get to know a lot of little things because I get to chat with the coolest people. There's 5 new video games that are ultra amazing that I think you do really.
And you can't tell me what they are?
Not on air. I can't.
Oh.
And you know, there's some cool TV shows in the works too. There's some really cool stuff. There was a show called Black Summer, just aired on Netflix. I told everybody about it, and everybody was like, "What?" And now that show is so amazing. And yes, and there's another one called Woo Assassins. But you probably signed something.
Yes,
right? You can't be on another
Woo
show.
Assassins is also filmed in Vancouver. In fact, our former costumes girl, she went to go work on that show, and she told me about some of the outfits that she was putting together, and it just sounded so incredible. I'm gonna write that down.
You would be awesome. You would be awesome.
I'm always on the hunt.
Do it.
Yes.
Do it, and do it. And you know.
What was the other one? Black Summer?
Black Summer, yeah. It just aired on Netflix. It's Asylum, which created Z Nation. So it's supposed to be like a prequel to Z Nation, but
cool.
but not as like funny. It's like really serious zombie series, and it's getting all these critical acclaims, and I think Carl Schaefer, there you go. Yeah, that's a cool show. Woo Assassin's a cool show. There's, He-Man, the movie's coming out this year. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yes, Masters of the Universe. There's so many cool stuff.
No.
I get a list in advance, and I will send it to you for a merely price of hi.
Hi.
There you go. I'll send it to you.
I'll post a photo of me working on some of the video games.
There you go. Wow,
that's
cool.
There's our trade-off. And I need to kind of get a PlayStation or something, or get someone to teach me how to do it so I can get back in the game.
Get back in the
Literally.
game. That's it. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I don't play video games either. A lot of people here in our studio does. Like everybody here at the radio network plays video games. I don't. I don't know if it's not having time or whatever, but I like watching them play.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Totally.
But I'm into binge watching like shows because I gotta watch it so I could be on up and up, so I can know about people like yourself. And when I chat with you, I'm like, oh my God, did you know this and that? So stuff like that. But video games are cool. You should learn it, play it, and then you should go to like video game conventions.
Oh yeah, I love conventions. I'm a nerd. I'm like, I don't care what you think. I'm like, what's it called? I drank the Kool-Aid.
You drank the nerd Kool-Aid?
This is my people, yeah.
That's your peoples? Is that the official nerd language? My peoples is nerds.
Yes, exactly.
Do you add an S after each word? Is that the nerd language? Or is it like...
Yes, that's also part of it.
That's cool.
How do you know this?
Hey, you know what? A little nerd told me that, and her name is Tasya.
Okay.
There you go.
Fair enough.
That's funny. You're a funny person. You're really cool. You're awesome. We appreciate you coming on. We know you're traveling, and you could have just went and bought dinner and went to sleep, but you're like, no, I gotta come on Comic-Con Radio. I have to, be there for the fans. I'm going to a convention tomorrow. That shows mucho efforts from your end. That's amazing because the fans love people like yourself, which is the give backs. You're giving back to them. You're being there for them. Because let me tell you something, Tasya, a lot of people in your position, they don't go to conventions or do any of that because they're like, okay, I did my part. I played in a show. I got paid. Have a nice day. But you're like, no, I want to be out there. I want to meet everyone. And regardless of whatever, it's an amazing thing. So kudos, high five.
Thanks.
Boom.
Thank you. I mean, it was, like I said at the beginning, it was like an unexpected layer of what I do that has actually added so much joy and so much value. Like I love the people that I meet here. It's just so much fun. So
That's amazing.
I appreciate that.
That's so amazing. And you know, Tasya, I think it's getting so late there. Isn't it getting late?
It is getting late.
Are you tired? I bet you're tired. So what we can do now is we can do the ending of the show. How about that?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. And because here's the thing, I can't squeeze any more out of you. I can't talk about the 100 because you can't say nothing. And last season, duh. And everybody's seen it. So what I don't like to do is be like, hey, last season, how was so-and-so? And there's fans out there that know more than me and you. So I'm like,
let's keep it current, baby.
Let's keep it current, baby. So we would love to bring you back on, you know, mid-season, get you on, chat about more stuff, get you when you're back in home and you have, you know, I know there's 1,000 things probably going through your head right now preparing for tomorrow, but let's end the show. You ready?
Cool. Yes.
All right. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to walk you through this, is we're going to say bye-bye. We're going to kiss the fans, and then you can go to sleep in France.
Oh.
Yes.
I thank you. I'll go to sleep thinking about Comic-Con Radio.
Yes, please do that. Please do that. By the way, your Instagram looks amazing. I love it.
Thank you. It's like I had this like weird relationship with Instagram where I was like, I don't know how to handle social media, but then it's kind of become like an art project, you know?
No, it looks amazing.
Like I'm like, ooh, I'm into like the design and the colors now.
No, it looks really cool. And you probably have seen a big growth ever since you've been on the 100.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, we have a couple new cast members this year, and one of whom, J.R. Bourne, he was on Teen Wolf already, and he, at work one day, he was like, my agent just announced me, and my Instagram, like, tripled overnight. He's like, I couldn't believe it. He's like, people react very strongly to the show, and they got excited that he was going to be a big part of our season 6 and stuff like that. And so there's definitely, the 100 is doing well. It's a great show, and it has a really great fan base, and definitely responsible for 1 or 2 followers of mine.
Well, that's awesome. And you deserve it. And your Instagram looks amazing. Your social media is nice. People love your photos. Keep up the amazing work. With that said, Tasya, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy with Tasya Teles, the cool, ultra cool person that's amazing from the 100. And we're signing out from another amazing episode of, what is it, Tasya?
It's Comic-Con Radio.
Booyah! And now we're going to give everybody a million kisses. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Mwah!
Mwah.
Yes. You know, those kisses are so valuable because they can save them while they're watching you on the 100, and they can pull it out and put it on their cheek. But they can't DM you privately because that would be creepy. So let's keep... With that
they can make it their ringtone. They can make it their alarm clock.
Booyah. And with that said, we're signing out, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for another amazing show. Thank you, Tasya Teles. And if you want to reach out to Tasya, you go to @Tasya Teles on Instagram and probably on Twitter too, because her name's cool. So why not keep that, right?
Exactly.
And with that said, peace out, guys. Say hi to her, follow her, love her, and watch her on the 100.
Hi, guys.
Love you guys.
Bye,
peace.
guys.
Booyah.
Thank you for having me.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Tune in for your daily shows of Comic-Con Radio. Go to comiccon-radio.com. Reach us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, @Comic-Con Radio. You can call us toll-free right now. 800-976-0305. 800-976-0305. Comic-Con Radio, taking the world one listener at a time.